be hostage. I was in a hostage situation. And it wasn't what I was hoping. She forced me, against my will, to go to Yankee Candle. And I don't mean that cute little thing in the mall either. I am talking about the mothership in Dearborn. Have you been there? It is the size of Manhattan. And all the way through Yankee Candle, she's doing exactly what the other hostage takers are doing. And sticks this foul, sweet-smelling thing in your face. Woo! I thought my head was going to explode. But here's the real problem, guys. Those smells get inside of you. They do. I'm going to get rid of this because it's making noises. They do. They get inside of you. And they poison your man stuff. By the time I got back to the car, my male universe was all screwed up. So I fastened my seatbelt and I let go a gigantic fart. I thought that should balance things out. I was wrong. It smelled like Christmas trees. With a hint of vanilla and a touch of baby. I'm standing in line at the registry of motor vehicles. And the lady in front of me starts accusing me in a very loud voice of leering at her ass. I know what you're thinking. I wasn't doing it. I wasn't. I had noticed the lady when I first got in line because she was right in front of me. But from that particular angle, I had understandably mistaken her for a midget riding a water buffalo. And that water buffalo was wearing the biggest pair of gray sweatpants on the earth. I am not implying that her ass was big or fat or fluffy. This ass was planetary. It had its own weather patterns. Humidity had settled into the southern hemisphere. There were small, dirty children locked in orbit around it, trapped in its horrible gravitational field. And this lady was loud. I had to shut this lady up. People were pointing and laughing and carrying on. I had to shut this lady up. But I am not a mean-spirited man. I'm not. I didn't want to hurt this lady's feelings. So I said to her, as nice as I possibly could under the circumstances, I said, "Lady, please, shut the fuck up! If the man behind that counter hears that I was leering at that ass, he will never allow me to operate a motor vehicle due to failing eyesight or criminally bad taste." It was a fairly embarrassing experience, as you can well imagine. But like most things, there's a bright side if you look for it. When they finally arrived, the paramedics were very efficient. And I got clubbed like a baby seal. This lady had a wooden pocketbook shaped like a treasure chest that went out of style in 1967. which is just my luck. I got in line behind a lady with a gigantic ass, a horrible attitude, and no sense of profession. Of all the things as you age, nothing changes more than sex. I mean, everything changes, but nothing changes. And I don't mean the sex itself. I don't care how old and wrinkly you get. There's only so many places you can put so many parts. Doesn't change. But your attitude changes. Your confidence changes. Your reactions change. When I was a young man, my sweetheart would pop out of the bedroom wearing nothing but one of my dress shirts, unbuttoned all the way down to here, with the naked legs hanging down and everything. Whoa! I try to remember that a couple of times a day. I would take one look at her and think, she needs some loving, because that's how fast my mind worked when I was young. Now, my sweetheart pops out of the bedroom wearing nothing but one of my dress shirts, unbuttoned all the way down to here, with the naked legs and everything. And I'm not so quick on the uptake anymore. I don't know if she needs loving or ironing. Could go either way. Now, you young guys in the room, if this hasn't happened to you yet, it will. And when it does, remember, she needs loving. If you choose ironing, it is a shortcut to a restraining order. I'll tell you a little something about myself. I feel like we're all friends now. I'm lazy. Hold your applause to me. People react negatively to that statement, but it's true, I am lazy. You guys owe a lot of things to lazy people. You do. Who the hell do you think came up with the idea for the remote control? The escalator. A vibrator. That's a lazy guy right there. Whoever figured that one out. I'm going to invent this vibrator, and then I can sit in the living room with my remote control and watch TV. Just remember to change the batteries every once in a while. Well, some parts of it change, some parts do. I have always been an ass and legs guy. That's the form that makes me. I like boobs. How can you not like boobs? Perfect chew toys, bounce right back into shape. Boobs are wonderful. And there's variety in boobs. There is. From the exquisitely detailed Asian miniatures to the ever-popular D-cup. There's a lot of variety. And you young guys have this to look forward to. There's a whole new classification when you get to my age. The 38 long. If you're lucky enough that your sweetheart likes to be on top, you can nibble a little tit without even having to sit up. Chelsea Clinton, remember Chelsea? She got married recently. Like, how did that happen? I can't be old enough for Chelsea Clinton to be getting married. I remember Chelsea as that homely little White House mutt running around in a rose garden, going at everybody in sight. And here she's grown up into a fairly attractive young woman and getting married? How did that happen? And when she and her fiancé Mark announced their engagement, Hillary, always being a good mom, give credit where it's due, Hillary asked Chelsea if she and Mark were having sex. Chelsea said, reassured Hillary, no, Mom, at least not according to Dad. There's another change that pops up in be prepared. Okay? When you get to a certain age as a man, you don't have that big gushing finish you had when you were a kid. Right? It transforms itself from an explosion to a process. And it's a wonderful process, it truly is. But it creates a couple of little problems. The main one being that we don't know exactly when we're done. We keep pounding away until the oxygen debt gets to us. You ladies will say, give me a minute, darling. We don't exactly know that we're done. We're not entirely sure until the soles of our feet get those cramps in them. Which is when you ladies will get to see the naked old man dance next to the bed. Now the ladies love that joke. But you ladies change too. You remember that towel you get so you can sleep on it instead of the wet spot? That changes too. You ladies reach an age where you can clean up that wet spot with a dust buster while you watch the naked old man dance. I've shared this experience. I went to the pharmacy to get the allergy pills that I have been taking for years. And there was this puppy pharmacist. I mean, he looked like he was 12. Must have learned pharmacy on Nintendo or something. He would not give me my pills until he had explained all of the possible side effects. All of them. And the only side effect I give a shit about is breathing. But he's going down this list of swollen lips and eczema, sudden death, and it went on. He says, finally, the side effects can be manifested as bad taste. I said, oh, give me the pills. And just to piss this punk off, I took twice the normal dose right in front of him. So that'll show him. And I went out to finish my errands. In the morning, I woke up with a fat chick. That's not the bad taste I thought he was talking about. I met her at the registry of motor vehicles. I was ex my